Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, this little corner of the internet where we have fun and we vibe. In today's video, I'm super nervous. My heart is beating really fast. So it came to my realization that I've never filmed like a personal like talking video. Like all of my things have been like advice or study videos or like conversation videos, but never me sitting down embarrassing myself. And so that is why I'm going to be going through all my crushes. Observe that it's crushes because I've never actually been in a real relationship. Maybe it's something I should probably dissect, but I'm here and I'm ready. If you like the video, make sure you like, you thumbs up, you subscribe, you comment, you share with your friends, or maybe not. But I'm just gonna go straight. So we're gonna start with crush number 1, and we're gonna call him Den. So this was like my earliest recollection of a crush that I've ever had. A crush so strong that I just have to write a letter about it. So this was in primary school, I think, like year 6. So I was like 11. Yeah, I was 11. And I just remember hating this guy at first. We would have to sit next to each other because of the seating plan. And I remember hating this guy. And I just remember this very specific event where he had like scissors in his hand and was like trying to cut himself to make himself bleed. And I grabbed the scissors from his hand. I was like, don't cut yourself. Why are you doing that? Like a normal person would. And then like, you know, like break time and lunchtime, like the lunchtime, he came and he was like, thank you for telling me not to cut my hand. You really care about me. And like my slightly boy crazy, book obsessed, romance obsessed 11-year-old self took that as, oh my god, he's like, we're just perfect for each other. Like, you know, this angst that I feel is totally chemistry. I don't hate him, I love him. And so I told him I liked him, and he was like, I like you too. And then, you know, like weird primary school relationships, that's kind of continued. I don't know why it ended. Like, I have no recollection of why it ended at all. I just remember me going up to him and said, I just don't like you like that anymore. And he was like, oh, and he was like, are you sure? Like, we could try. And I was like, no, I gotta go my own way. Next, we're gonna go into secondary school crushes. I think these are the most embarrassing ones to like admit out loud, because some of these people I'm still friends with today. So the second person on my crush list, I have a book right here. This is the earliest recollection I remember of having a crush on someone in secondary school. I probably had like, you know, those fleeting crushes that lasted like a week or two, but I very strongly remember I really liked this guy. We're gonna call him Wham. I just remember that I always kind of liked him because he was like super funny and, you know, like boisterous and like kind of popular, and I was like, oh, he has like a really great personality and he makes me laugh, so I like him. I think I was like 13 at the time, and I really strongly remember we were sitting in a bus and there was this girl that liked him and he didn't really like her back. So he said to me, why don't we fake date? And I was like, oh, of course, sure. Deep down, I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my god, like I actually like him. And like in all of the movies and books I read, fake dating always leads to like real relationships. This may go somewhere. I got fake dumped 2 days later. And then I never told him that I like liked him face to face, but I think it was pretty obvious. I got fake dumped twice. We did fake relationship twice. I got fake dumped twice, so that's how successful that was. It was either between the summer of year 8 and year 9 or between the summer of year 7 and year 8. I actually don't remember, but I went to a summer camp. I didn't know anybody at the, actually I knew a few people like who were family friends, and that's how I ended up at the summer camp. And the place was a bit grim. We had to like pee in like this pot, and they only changed the pot twice a day, so you would have to like wake up at like ridiculous o'clock to try and pee before anybody gets to the toilet. It was not cute, but we did have fun moments. We played like Hunger Games, we went swimming a lot. It was totally fun. And there was like a boy there, and I remember that he was a year older than me, and we would just talk and we just got along. I was like, I actually kind of like him, but in my head I was like, he's a year older than me. Like, I'm what, like I'm 12, I'm 13, he's like 14. Like, why would an older guy be into me? But I remember walking and being stopped by another guy who was his friend, but like again slightly older, and he was like, oh, how old are you? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm 13. And then he was like, oh, and then he turned to the guy that I liked and was like, the age gap isn't even that deep, you should just tell her that you like her. And I was like, oh my god. And I just smiled and like laughed awkwardly, and I was like, ah ha ha, funny joke guys. And then I walked away. But yeah, and I remember on the last day, because we didn't have phones at the summer camp, so you couldn't really exchange contact details. I remember the last day, he was like really upset because, you know, he had a really good friend at the camp and they only see each other like once a year. And he looked at me and he was like, I really enjoyed spending this summer with you, and I hope I see you again, Jesi. And I hugged him and I was like, I hope I see you again too. Did I see him again? Absolutely not. Summer camp boy will forever live on in my memory. Is a boy. We're gonna call him Adrian Agrest, because that is completely the vibe he gives off, like miraculous ladybug Adrian. He had like blonde hair, blue eyes. He did fencing, guys. Who does fencing? Like, he played the viola. He was kind of French. He wasn't French to the point where he could speak French very well, but he was kind of French, and that's what mattered. And I remember I was like, wow, like this guy is like Adonis. He's like God on earth. He's gorgeous. And I had like this massive crush on him. Like, everybody knew I had a crush on this guy. It was so ridiculous. And we would always sit and talk. I was like, maybe he liked me too. And he was like, one day I remember we were like sitting and talking about science. He was also into science, guys. Like, maybe I'm idolizing him now because I just have this like dreamy memory. Maybe he wasn't as dreamy as I remember, because I remember telling one of my friends this and she was like, ew, what was wrong with you? But in my head, and still to this day, he's just so dreamy. I was sitting with him and he was like, Jesi, you're such a good friend. Like, you're literally like my best friend. I feel like I can tell you anything. And then he told me about the girl he was dating. Kind of heartbroken. And he would always tell me about the girls he was dating. And he would always complain or tell me when they kissed or when they got along. I was disgustingly friend-zoned. Friend-zoned to the point of like no return. Friend-zoned to the point where I was saved as best friend on his phone. I just you just can't get past that, to be honest. And then he left in year 10 and he kind of gives me Tory vibes now, so. I was like 15 to 16, so it's quite recent actually. And I'm still really good friends with him to this day, and he like knows. I told him once, I was like, did you know that I actually had such a big crush on you? We're gonna call this guy Remy. So how did I start having a crush on him? He was in my music class and I paid no attention. I have no recollection of this guy, and he was in my school from the beginning, like from year 7. I had no recollection of speaking to this guy until I was 14. So just a blank space there. We were in the same music class and he was quite a good drummer. So I was like, oh, would you be on my music project? Like, we need a drummer and you're pretty good, so we want to be in a music group. And we were, and he was pretty chill and he was really fun and easy to work with. And I was like, oh, he's like a cool guy. And we started talking more. I was like, oh, he's like cool and funny, my type. So I ended up having like a really, really big crush on him. And we would always we would sit next to each other and we'd be paired to each other, and we would like talk to each other a lot in like music. Like in music class, we were like the best of buddies. It was like me, him, and then the occasional third wheeler, which was like another guy. But it was like we were just like had so much fun. We did our ensemble together. He helped me with my solo. Like we were just like attached to the hip in this music class, and I really, really, really liked him. I liked him for a long time. I feel like deep down he knew I liked him, but he just ignored it because everybody and their flipping mom and their cat knew I liked this guy. And then I remember that he started like liking this girl, and I was just a bit like, oh. And I was like, so do you like her? And he was like, what do you think about it? I was like, she's cool and she's really pretty. I think you should like her back. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And then he did. And you know what, that's probably like my longest crush, because I probably had like a crush on him for like 2 years. That is so pathetic. Like from beginning of year 10 to like the beginning of not the beginning of year 12, probably till the end of year 11, so like a year and a bit, I really, really liked this guy. And then after a while I just got settled into the idea that, you know what, we're probably just better off as friends, and now we're really, really good friends and we have fun and we vibe. Like, I'm really glad, like out of all of my crushes, I'm glad this one did not go anywhere and did not work out, because I wouldn't have had such a great friend in this guy if that was the case. So, and he kind of gives me the ick now, like crush rise. Like I'm like, is the most bittersweet crush I had. And this was like 2019 actually. This is the most bittersweet one. I'm not gonna say a name, because if I say names then my friend's gonna know who it is. This is the one I feel like I'm most exposing myself. So there's a guy, and like we were really good friends, and I kind of could tell that he liked me. And he was just really funny and he was sweet, and we had very like many overlapping interests, and he was also really good to talk to. Like he was a very great conversationalist. That's like high on my list, by the way. And so I ended up liking him back. Like I had a really big crush, not really big, but I had like a substantial crush. And at the time I hadn't had a crush on somebody for so long, so for me to actually like somebody, it felt a bit wow. Like, and so you guys are probably thinking, if you both liked each other, why did it not go anywhere? It didn't go anywhere because I'm a flipping bastard. At that time, to be fair, I was going through like a lot of changes, like family wise, and there was a lot of like rockiness. And also somebody who I was really, really close friends to, we had like this massive argument, and I just felt like a massive distrust to like a lot of people. And in my head, I was like, if I feel distrust to everybody around me, how can I then be in a relationship with you and not trust you and not be vulnerable with you because of this insecurity and like mental health issues that I've been trying to face and trying to deal with? It wouldn't be fair to you. And also I was so worried about losing the good friendship I had with this guy, that I felt like if we were in a relationship and then we broke up, we wouldn't be friends anymore. And so that was another big thing that played in my mind. So I was like, no, I don't like you like that, I just want to be friends, which is a lie because I did like him like that. And yeah, that is the most bittersweet one. But we're still really good friends today, and we still hang out a lot and we still talk a lot. So I guess it did all end up well. Those were all my crushes, guys. Comment down below which crush was your favorite. Like, which crush do you wish actually went well? My one is still Summer Camp Boy. Summer Camp Boy is still my favorite crush. But yeah, if any of the crushes that I mentioned are watching this video, thank you, because you have taught me a lot about life and love. Am I ready to experience it? Absolutely not, but it made for a fun video. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week, Thursday. Bye. I should have added like all my book crushes. Oh my god, guys, should I make a video listing all my anime crushes? Should I make a video just doing crushes from different universes, like my Marvel crushes, my DC crushes, my anime crushes, my book crushes? Oh my god, should I make a crush series? Yeah, I should do all of my female crushes, like all of the people that almost made me bisexual, like almost, like we're on the brink.